Good morning, party poopers. Wandering around the house today, trying to get some productive shit done, and I stopped for a moment to scroll through social media, which is always a wonderful idea. It's a really, really good use of time. And as I'm scrolling through, I come across all this shit about the California warehouse fire. And all these people that are like, just pay a livable wage, man. and don't get me wrong, there is something to be said about the cost of living going up. Like even like in Vegas, the cost of living is fucking skyrocketed in opposed to the cost or the wages. I mean, it's not proportional. It's at a point now where like you can be someone who earns well by Vegas standards, Vegas everyday standards, your everyday blackjack dealer, or whatever the case may be, someone who works in the casinos and makes a good living, and you can't really enjoy living in Vegas anymore. It's just too expensive. Like you can afford to wake up, go to work, come home, and worry about your bills. Like, and that's sure you can make the argument of budgeting, which we'll get into that here in a minute. But at the end of the day, like it is becoming a problem, and it's becoming a problem all over the place. Especially, as we've seen with all this Iran stuff, which is going so fucking well. Cost of oil, cost of gas going up. I mean, this is ridiculous. I filled up couple like 2 weeks ago. I haven't got gas since, but like 2 weeks ago, I was at the gas station and I was gonna drive from Laughlin to Vegas because I'm moving from Laughlin back up to Vegas, um, and I get gas down here in Bullhead and or Laughlin. I say it's Bullhead. I say Laughlin because no one knows where the fuck Bullhead is, even though it's literally just across the water from Laughlin. So I filled up down here in Bullhead, and the diesel was like 5.51 on the thing. So it was like a $5.51 for a gallon of diesel, which is ridiculous. And I drive all the way up to Vegas, drop off some stuff. I come back down, and like 2 days later, I go just to top up, fill up my rest of my tank because I like to keep my vehicles full if I can. And it's 2 days later, it was 580 like three. It was over 580 for a gallon of diesel. In like 2 days, it went up that much. That's ridiculous. It's outrageous, and it's definitely not what I fucking voted for, Donnie. However, this whole thing with this California wildfire, I think, is really interesting. One thing that I think we need to keep in mind is, our our hero, our flame starting fucking retard that thinks burning toilet paper is going to have a good outcome, who's also facing like life in prison. And I think that's probably justifiable. Not because. I'll wait, motherfucker. I live on a main road where trucks go by. All right. Not only because, like, sure, he caused thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, millions of dollars in damage, but furthermore, he's inciting more behavior like this. And don't get me wrong, there is a time and a place for that. Now's just not that fucking time, and that's not the place. I say that not because he was getting enough to win. I say that because he had other coworkers. Okay, that's where I think a lot of people are really missing out on what's going to happen here. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I'm just a dude. But at the end of the day, like, I think it's really interesting to consider, like, oh, well, the insurance company is not going to cover the payout. That's the big thing right now, right? Because my first thought process is, homie burnt the warehouse. He's now going to jail. All of his coworkers are now being laid off, so they don't have jobs. It's going to take them time to get the insurance payout. When they do get the insurance payout, the company, they're going to build a larger fucking facility and they're going to fully automate. So guess what? You just played yourself and everyone around you. You got everyone around you fired, and those jobs are not going to come back. And even, someone that was in a comment I was in yesterday, kind of talking about this, he even said, yeah, well, they should go to school and get certified to work on those machines and calibrate the QR scanners if they want, to do something. And it's like, okay, your argument, genius, is that this is an overall win because he burnt the building down and got a bunch of people fired. And now that they don't have jobs, they'll be able to go get better training and education so they can come back and get a better job. Like, it don't work like that, Einstein. And then lastly, what happens if they don't pay out? People say, "Oh, the insurance company's not going to pay out, and this company, they're going to lose their ass, man, and that's what they get for not paying a livable wage." And you know what every other warehouse company's going to do? They're going to say, "Holy shit, employing entry level people that do not have higher education and higher training is a literal liability to not only our company but the safety of our employees." So, and we're going to have to pay higher insurance rates if we do want to have those employees and worry about this kind of stuff. So you know what they're going to do? Instead of putting the money into employees and higher insurance, they'll fire all the employees, get rid of the fucking insurance, and then they'll fully automate. Fully automate. So you could potentially see thousands of jobs disappear overnight. Well, not overnight, but disappear in a couple years, all because of this fucking idiot who had a lighter. And that's the way these companies are going to look at it. All these revolutionaries are looking at it like, well, I can buy a lighter and I can make change. And these companies are looking at it like these people are literally too stupid to employ. They're a liability. They're dangerous. We can't do this anymore. Well, what do you think all those fucking idiots are going to do for work next? You think they're going to go work at a McDonald's and have the same mindset of like, well, if I just don't get my raise at the end of the year, I'll burn the fucking place down? Like, well, what do you think? You think they're going to go work at Home Depot or Lowe's, or you think they're going to go work for a dealership and do something worthwhile? Furthermore, do you think these people that believe burning a building down is going to affect change, do you think they're going to go get higher education that's actually usable and can actually be applied to a trade or income? Or do you think they're just going to sit there and with their fucking liberal arts degree and, bitch about the man? I don't know. Overall, I think it's a net negative. I think it's a fucking stupid thing, and I really think it's a I forget the term for it. There's a word for like when someone telegraphs something unintentionally. It's oh man, I can't remember the term right now, but like when someone accidentally gives away that they're an idiot, or that they're this political, or that they're this religion or whatever. It's like uh, damn, there's a word for it. If you know what I'm talking about, leave it down in the comments, motherfucker. Otherwise, just as a joke, kind of, I think if this guy gets life in prison, I think they need to disclose his finances. I really do. Because what I think is going to be hilarious, and I know that this is very like, well, he doesn't, he's got rights, you can't get into his finances. I get that, but you're inciting people, idiots, all over the United States to cause thousands and thousands, millions of dollars in damage, potentially billions of dollars in damage, and let alone put people's lives at risk. Like, what happens if little old Martha, the 60-year-old lady who runs the computer system or whatever, fill in the blank, that takes out the trash, what happens if she accidentally died in that fire? Like, arson's no joke. There's a reason you can't scream fire in a fucking movie theater. There's a reason back in the day, one of the first arson laws, is you cannot have torches at large gatherings. And that's because people used to burn shit down. So, with that being said, I think if homie does get a serious sentence, which he will, I think they should disclose his finances. And the reason is like, I think it's so funny the amount of money he was making, which, mind you, was proportionate to where he lived. Like, that dude was making more than a lot of people I know make, but he was living somewhere that did have a higher cost of living. So I get it. It's proportional. However, like, how funny would it be if his finances were just ridiculous? Like, I bet that dude had like $100 in OnlyFans, and he had his Xbox Plus membership every month for $83, and he's got all the extra skins for Fortnite. Like, all you had to do was pay me enough to buy my purple brownie unicorn outfit for my fucking Call of Duty character.